So today we've got a build here, which is not really a build, it's more of an upgrade. So a lot of the parts on this are changing. I think the only thing we're going to keep is the case, this NZXT case, and the power supply. But most of the internal components will change. So this is the inside of the PC that we are going to change. It's currently an i5 2500K, overclocked at 4.7, stable on a water-cooled all-in-one Corsair water cooler, and it's got a Sapphire Nitro graphics card in there. It's a 384 gig card. So this is what it looks like on the inside. So this is the CPU we're going for. We're going for the Ryzen 5 3600, which is a 6-core 12-thread CPU. It's clocks at 3.6 at the base and all the way to 4.2. It does overclock a little bit, but we're not going to be overclocking this system at all. He's happy with it sitting at 4.2 max. So the motherboard that we've gone for is this ASRock B450 Steel Legend. We've gone for this one specifically because of the design. Once I open it up, you'll see I kind of like the sort of digital camo effect that it's got on there, and it's got loads of other features on there. It's a pretty good card, and if it does actually say Ryzen 3000 desktop ready on the box, then that normally means that the BIOS has been already updated. However, if it doesn't have the sticker, you might need to drop in an older AMD CPU in there, update the BIOS, and then put the 3000 series chip in there, then it will work. So for the graphics card, we've gone for this XFX DD Ultra 5700. It's an 8 gig card. It's got 4 ports, 3 display ports, and 1 HDMI 2.0 port on there. So the reason we went for this particular card was within the 5700 range of third-party graphics cards. This one had the highest max clock at the lot, and it was really good value for money. For 1080p gaming, for this price point, you can't really go wrong, to be honest. Obviously, anything in the NVIDIA range that sort of competes with this, you're looking at a lot more money. So for the RAM, we've gone for the Corsair Vengeance LPX. This is one stick of 16 gig of RAM running at 3000. I like Corsair RAM because it's reliable. I've always used it, it's never let me down. And obviously went for 1 gig of 16 stick as opposed to 2 gigs of 8 because basically it was cheaper. For storage, we've gone for Corsair again, the MP510. This is an NVMe M.2 SSD at 240 gig. The reason we went for this, it was good value for money for the speed. And at the time when I was doing my research, the MP510 was probably within that price bracket the fastest M.2 on the market. The other storage drive that we got was this one by Crucial, MX500. This is 1 terabyte hard drive, and it is pretty fast for the money. So for the monitor, he's got this Lenovo ThinkVision monitor. It's a 27-inch monitor. I think it's called the S27i10. He's going to have it set up next to his current Asus 27-inch monitor. This one might be set up in portrait. I almost forgot about this little thing, to be honest. We're going to be using a thermal compound, which is the Arctic Sulfur 5. I know the Ryzen stock cooler has some thermal paste pre-applied, but it's not the best. So we thought we'd stick some of this stuff on there and maybe get the temperature down by 1 or 2 degrees. Now that you've seen all the components that's going to go into this tower, this video isn't going to really show every single step of me taking out components, putting them in bit by bit. I'll do it in sort of short video clips of what it looks like with the components out a little bit at a time. When I built this PC quite a while ago, I forgot what power supply was in there. So it's actually a 650 watt fractal design, fully modular power supply. So at least we know what we're powering this new system with. So the graphics card is out now. You can see, taking it out there. Those are the cables right there. And this is the old graphics card, the old Sapphire Nitro. So I'm not gonna actually disconnect the water pump from this motherboard. I'm gonna leave it in there because he may want to sell this motherboard, RAM, processor and water cooler as a bundle. So I'm just gonna take the radiator off the case basically, and then unscrew the board and take the board out. I've just gotta show you this. This is disgusting. This guy tells me he cleans his PC regularly. Look at this, nasty. You know who you are. When you watch this video, clean this shit. Fucking hell. So as you can see, I've taken the motherboard out now. there's just cables here, and there's 3 fans. One front fan which is 140mm. There's a fan at the top which is 120mm, and one at the back as well. And also obviously the power supply is behind there. And also what I wanted to quickly show you is at the back. We've got 2 old drives here. The red one you can see just at the bottom is a Corsair GT240. That's coming out. That's being replaced with the NVMe drive, which we'll see on the motherboard. At the top you'll see it's actually a Seagate SSHD, which is like a hybrid. That's coming out, and that's being replaced with the Crucial MX500 SSD. So I just wanted to quickly show you the old motherboard processors. The i5 is underneath that. That's the cooler. I've got to say, this water cooler was, when I was building it, it was a bit of a difficult thing to build, because these pipes here, they are so thick that they don't bend very easily, but we managed to somehow get into the system. And the board and the CPU came out back in 2011. It still plays fairly modern games at a medium rate, really. So I'm just going to get the CPU here. You can see there's a little gold dot there, and there's a triangle on the motherboard socket. So I'm just going to drop that in there like so. Oh yeah, make sure the arm's lifted. You should just drop in when you find this. There you go. Dropped in there. Hardly any force needed. Click the arm down. Job done. So normally you could use these 2 clips here to put on a cooler. The one that comes in the box for this motherboard, it will sit like that. So you need to take these 2 plastic clips off these, and these need to come off. So basically, once you've taken these brackets off those plastic pieces, you have 4 of these screw holes there, which your 4 screws there from the cooler will fit in just like that. So what I'm going to do next is basically wipe off the thermal compound from here and apply a little drop of this onto the CPU there. There you can, as you can see, I've cleaned it all off. There's none of the old stuff left on there. So with thermal compound, everybody has different ways of putting the thermal compound on. Some people paste it all across, some people drop in the middle, some people do a cross and stuff like that. My basic method is squeezing about a pea size out, so what I'm going to do now is get this and just drop it into the 4 screw holes there, one there, one there, there we go, and then sort of screw them in corner to corner, this one first, then that one, then that one, then that one, like that basically. So I've screwed these 4 screws down. It's solid now. So putting the RAM in, we're just going to get this stick of RAM here. There's a notch here, so align that to the little plastic tab inside there. You can probably see it there. And what I found strange was, on this motherboard, they've only got the clips on the one side rather than having them on both sides like a lot of motherboards do. So the idea is you slot it in like that. When it's in, it should click as you put pressure on both sides. There we go. That's in now. That's not coming out. So that's the RAM installed. Next thing I'm going to do is basically put the M.2 slot. Now there is a slot here for an M.2 if you want to put one in there, but I'm just going to put it under this one here because it's got a nice cooling shield, and it's covered nicely as well. So I'm just going to use this slot instead of this one. So I've taken the screws off, lift this up. This is like a little sticky tab that you take off before you put it's like a thermal pad there. So you put your M.2 in there, take this label plastic off and stick it down. Simple as that. So fitting the M.2 is very simple on this board. Literally line up that little notch there the right way, get your thumb in there and just click it in. Once it's in, if there are some motherboards where if you haven't got the top plate, you can just put a screw there and it'll just hold it in that position. But what we're going to do with this particular one is we're just going to put this on here like that, and that will keep that sturdy. And with the thermal pad, which is sticky, that will keep that in in one place as well, so you won't get any vibration or anything. So I've taken the plastic off now, so this bit's a little bit sticky. I'm just gonna put a screw in there. Just check that quickly. That's not budging. It's in. Job done. And now the RAM's in the motherboard, M.2 is in the motherboard. We've got the CPU and cooler in there as well. Now what we're going to do is put this motherboard into the case. So before I put the motherboard in, I'm going to have to put the I/O shield in. This is very, very easy. Literally put it into the slot down here, like so, and just click it into place. Once it's all clicked in, top and bottom, that'll be nice and flush at the back. When the I/O shield is in, this is what it will look like. Just pop into place. Make sure you get it the right way around, otherwise you'll have to take it back out and do it again. So basically all I'm going to do now is drop the graphics card into this slot here. So this section here will slot into that. When you do it, you'll hear a click. So this is what the graphics card looks like inside the case. So what I'm going to do now is plug in all the cables, because most of the stuff's in there. There's only the SSD to put in, but that's fairly simple. I can do that at the end. All the cables are going to go now into the motherboard. So all the cables are now plugged in. The only one there is blue. It's a bit out of place, but I might change that to black. So 24 pins in there, USB 3 port pins in there, graphics card power supplies in there, HD audio cables, the fans, the front panel switches, the CPU power supply there, all the fans. Just gotta neaten up the back of the case and then switch it on and see what happens. So it's all booted up now. All I did was connect the monitor to the PC. It's all up and running. Just gotta set all windows up and it's good to go. So guys, this is the final completed part of the build. So I've connected all the cables up, installed Windows, switched it all on. It's all running nice and smooth. Just gonna put the side panel on and we're done. So guys, this is the actual used case. It's got a bit of wear and tear, but it's got a side panel on, so you can have a look what it looks like. There's a little bit of reflection, I can't do nothing about that, but you've seen the internals without the panel on. So yeah, so that's this build complete. Well, not a full build, an upgrade complete.